and I've heard people say this, and just being an entrepreneur, I've heard pastors talk about how being a pastor is almost like selling, because you are you're delivering a message.
Yeah.
Not that we like to say we're selling the salvation of Jesus Christ, but in a way I can understand that argument. And I'm not like, I don't love it or hate when people make that analogy. But did you learn a lot of your sales skills from pastoring, or was there something before that kind of taught you kind of that skill set?
That is a great question, and I'll try to answer it the best I can. I kind of feel personally they do go hand in hand, and I didn't see it actually a lot of the time. My wife can attest to this. I would have someone else in my life tell me, you could do this selling. You could really do this. You have a skill set. You have a gift for it. What changed it for me, I think, of what you're asking, what helped develop the skill set, I do believe the pastoring played a big part of it, because for myself, whenever I would speak with clients, customers, friends, family, whoever it wasn't so much about the sale for me as it was the relationship and listening to them.
Yeah.
So I do believe that I tied a lot of ministry, roof pastor, the pastor side of it, into the sales aspect, and just knowing kind of what I learned through ministry, how to apply it to what I'm doing now with roofing.
Yeah, that's awesome. The other thing I respect about you when you're pastoring is you were still going out and working. Like, you started a landscape business, you're doing other things, and I respect that. And again, I'm not like saying like pastors who their only income is from the tithes and offerings from the staff, but I really respect those, because I'm the same way. Like, I was never really someone who worked in ministry, but my mindset as I've gotten into doing a lot of things with Christian hip hop, putting things together, it is a ministry to me.
Yes.
But my goal was always to make my money in business so that I didn't have to make money through ministry itself. Obviously, ministry has cost, so offering and tithes is important because there's bills that have to be paid. But I really respect pastors who work and they're doing something because they're not just trying to, get their living only from, the offerings that are coming from the congregation. What are your thoughts on that?
Bivocational ministry is what we call it. And I've got a lot of friends actually in the area and in the United States that do bivocational ministry, and then some have actually stepped out of bivocational ministry into, I guess, what you would call full-time ministry, where the church is supporting them 100%. Do they still do some side hustles? I'm sure. I can't speak to that. I have some of them I don't know for certain. But the bivocational ministry it changed a lot from when I was early on in ministry. A lot of ministers were solely just trying to live off of the congregation. But as the times changed and technology advanced and things were shifting, I believe it was a smart move, but also that the Lord was showing people, leadership and ministers, hey, there's different things we can do here to not only build the church and advance the kingdom, but also take care of those other things.
Yeah.
So I believe it kind of comes back to the heart of what you're asking, and the heart of our viewers that are watching us today. If they see a pastor doing that, maybe if they don't know the full picture and understand what's going on, and I've seen this in the communities and churches, and it's torn people apart, but knowing that they're also probably just trying to do something to take care of a family or a family member, or even help the community while they're working, and possibly collecting something from the church. It's usually to expand something even bigger than they may know about at the time. You, as our CEO, I'm sure there's things that you take care of on a larger scale that we don't know, and we just follow your lead, and we trust you in your heart as you lead us. Kind of the same with the pastor.
Real interviews, real guests, no actors. Real talk, get prepared for Free Factor.